The film opens with young Emily at a lively Christmas carnival. Now an adult, she welcomes guests at her company's festive product launch party in LA. Aurora, CEO of Light Mass Q, the brand behind the event, compliments Emily on the celebration. When asked if she's heading home for Christmas, Emily smoothly deflects by introducing Aurora to Finn, a rising YouTube star, and steps away to let them discuss a potential collaboration. In Meadow Grove, Nick is disappointed with the planning process of the carnival. While walking around the rescue ranch, he finds Luke, a friend staying in the guest house, fixing the animal fence. Frustrated with the carnival's planning, something his late mother used to handle, Nick vents to Luke, who suggests he call Emily, Nick's sister, despite her not having returned home in years. Reluctantly, Nick decides to give it a try. As expected, Emily refuses, feeling out of place and viewing the carnival as a hassle. She hasn't been in town for years and doesn't see herself as a ranch girl. Nick tries to persuade her, stressing that the carnival might not happen without her help, as he's at a loss. Later, Emily reflects on her mother's attempts to get her and Nick to move to Meadow Grove during their childhood. After some thought, Emily books her tickets and heads back to town. Back in town, Emily runs into her longtime friend Taylor, who's surprised to see her. Emily explains she's helping Nick with the carnival planning. Taylor introduces her kids, Emmett and Vivian, and promises to catch up the next day before heading off. Emily then stops by Pearl's cafe for an espresso, only to find they only serve coffee. To Emily's surprise, Pearl remembers her and offers the coffee on the house, along with a flapjack for Nick. While driving to the ranch, Emily speeds around a narrow corner, trying to drink her coffee, and almost hits Luke, who's running across the road searching for one of the animals. Emily's frustrated that he didn't look before crossing, while Luke's irritated by her speeding. They're both at fault here. When Emily arrives at the house, Nick greets her with a warm embrace and offers to show her the animals on the ranch. As they talk, Luke arrives, and both Emily and Luke are surprised to realize they're the ones from the accident earlier. Nick senses tension between them and feels lost, unsure how to handle the situation. Later, Nick finds Emily giving treats to the animals, and she admits it feels different being there without their mother. She's glad to be back though, especially since she and Nick haven't been on the same page for a long time. Emily then notices an artwork, and Nick reveals it's by Luke, leaving her surprised. Luke, it turns out, is a well-known artist in San Francisco with pieces in major galleries. Emily is puzzled by his presence at the ranch, and Nick explains that Luke's wife left him, and he's staying here in exchange for helping around the farm. Though he seems over his ex, Luke isn't ready to return to the city, and Emily wonders if he might ever return to making art. Emily goes to Luke's room and suggests they leave the past behind, acknowledging their rough start. She curiously asks why he stopped being an artist, and Luke jokingly points to his art on the fence. She proposes he create art for the carnival, but he quickly shuts her down, explaining he gave up art to avoid meeting people. Emily, determined, argues that neither of them truly belongs in Meadow Grove with their talents, and she believes he could do more. She shares her desire to honor their mother's legacy and feels they can work together to make the carnival something special. Luke finally agrees to give it a try. The next morning, while working around the ranch, Luke tells Emily he's not inspired to make art right now. Concerned, she wonders how he'll have time for anything creative with all the work he's doing around the ranch. Later, Emily updates Taylor on the situation, expressing doubts about having enough time for the carnival if Luke keeps focusing on ranch chores. Taylor, however, thinks Luke is attractive and would be a good match for Emily. She invites Emily to her white elephant party the next day, hoping it'll be a chance for her to unwind. At home, Emily sets up the Christmas tree, lost in sweet memories of her mom. She eventually falls asleep in the chair, and Luke finds her there, offering to help. As they talk, Luke opens up about his approach to art, explaining that creating something as intricate as a piece of art can't be rushed. Working on smaller tasks that he can finish helps him focus and clear his mind. Though he's unsure of what to create yet, he's open to inspiration when it comes. The next day, while on a call, Emily ogles Luke from the front porch, and it seems her initial dislike is slowly turning into something more. Inside the house, she comes across a childhood box and is flooded with memories of the past, including a time when she tried to run away from home. Emily has always wanted to leave Meadow Grove, even as a child. At the White Elephant Party, Emily reconnects with old friends Christina and Sophia, who rush over to hug her and express their condolences for her mom. They quickly bombard her with personal questions. Noticing this, Luke steps in to save her. Emily wonders aloud why the men never face such questions, and Luke opens up about his ex-wife, sharing that he's happy now. The White Elephant Party is in full swing as everyone picks random gifts. While decorating a gingerbread house together, Luke suddenly gets an idea for his art and rushes off. The next morning, Emily asks him to share his idea, and he reveals he wants to create something that evokes memories and love, fitting for Christmas. However, he needs to take care of the animals first, and convinces Emily to join him. After a long day's work, Emily confides in Luke that she never wanted to move to Meadow Grove as a child, since all her memories, along with her late dad's, were in Seattle. Luke understands, acknowledging that change is never easy. The next day, Carnival preparations are progressing smoothly, with posts going up online to create buzz. Taylor thinks Luke has feelings for Emily, but she dismisses the idea, pointing out how they barely tolerated each other just a week ago. What she doesn't realize is how thin the line between like and dislike can be, ready to snap at any moment. Luke asks Nick for permission to take Emily on a date, and Nick, being laid back, is totally cool with it, feeling Emily can make her own choices. Luke then invites Emily to join him for a trip to Seattle to pick up more lights and enjoy a dinner date. Surprised, Emily agrees, and they share a romantic moment, gazing into each other's eyes. Just then, the lights flicker on, and Nick walks over to check if the connection is working. Well, the connection between Emily and Luke is definitely strong. In the city, Emily asks Luke what drew him to art with light, and he explains that light represents everything. It's in the memories people share, making it more meaningful than painting. As they walk down the street, Emily shows Luke the apartment she grew up in and reflects on her mom. Though they never returned to visit, the heavy workload of raising 2 kids and a dozen animals kept her mom busy. As they walk, they come across a studio apartment for lease, and Emily encourages Luke to check it out, suggesting it could be a great place for him to work on his art. However, Luke prefers the simplicity of life at the ranch. Emily then tells him they might not see each other after Christmas, as she plans to move back to LA. Wanting to stay in touch, Luke suggests they exchange numbers, eager to get to know her better and spend more time together. Over dinner, Emily confides in Luke that she wants to quit her job. She feels trapped in a never-ending cycle, spending over a month planning a party, only for it to be forgotten the next day as she moves on to the next event. She longs to start something of her own, but doesn't know where to begin in capturing people's memories. Luke reassures her that just because something ends, it doesn't mean people forget it entirely. But Emily wants to create something that lasts, something that inspires more than just a fleeting memory. Luke opens up about his fear of returning to art professionally, worried about putting himself out there after his ex left. Emily encourages him to take the leap, but Luke mirrors her advice, urging her to pursue her own business. Emily hesitates, feeling that her field is oversaturated in LA. She also can't imagine leaving the city. It feels like quitting, as if all the time she spent there would be wasted when she could have been with her mom instead. Emily expresses feeling like she's failed her mom and wishes for just one more moment with her. Luke reassures her, telling her that even though she can't see her mom anymore, she's still there in her memories. They return to Meadow Grove, and it seems like their connection is growing, hinting at a future date. The next day, Luke asks Nick if he thinks Emily will stay in Meadow Grove after the carnival, but Nick firmly believes she won't. Emily, feeling the weight of her emotions, reminisces about her mom and confides in Nick that she feels like she disappointed her, especially with her stubbornness about attending the carnival, which meant so much to their mother. Nick gently tells her she's not so different from their mom in that way. Later, as the evening falls, Luke asks Emily what she thinks of the final decorations. It brings back memories of attending the carnival with her mom and Nick. Luke expresses hope that she can create new memories, and their affection for each other nearly sparks into a romantic moment. However, Emily pulls back, admitting that, while she'd love to make new memories with Luke, she's leaving in just a few days. Luke tries to convince Emily to stay longer, but she fears that if she does, she won't want to leave, and that terrifies her. She wants to make an impact, not just stay in one place doing nothing. After some thought, Emily agrees to consider staying for a while. The next morning, Emily feels a wave of sadness as she reflects on her mom. Taylor notices her mood, and concerned, asks what's wrong. Emily opens up about her feelings, and Taylor reassures her, saying that her mom wouldn't want her to live her life looking back, always stuck in the past. Later, Luke tries to talk to Emily about the previous night, but they're interrupted when Aurora and Finn unexpectedly show up. Aurora proposes a deal for Emily to leave her job and become the head of content at her company. Emily, not wanting to make any rash decisions, asks to hear more over snacks, and Aurora agrees. Emily confides in Luke that she doesn't want what they have to end, but she can't stay in Meadow Grove. She fears she'll spend her life second-guessing her choices. Luke understands, encouraging her to go listen to Aurora's offer. The next morning, Emily dreams of her mom and opens up about her struggles. Her mom, in the dream, gently reassures her, saying she never wanted Emily to stay in one place, she's always been adventurous, and that she'll figure everything out in time. It's the day of the carnival, and the place is buzzing with people, all creating new memories. However, Luke is missing. He's gone to the city, and Nick isn't sure if he'll return. Taylor, impressed by the success of the carnival, compliments Emily and introduces her husband, Jerry. Nick is thrilled with the large turnout and asks if they can schedule weekly phone calls once she returns to LA to stay in touch. Emily is touched by the thought and agrees. As the time comes to light up the carnival, Emily texts Luke, wondering where he is. She delivers a heartfelt speech, and when the lights are switched on, the breathtaking sight reveals Luke's art pieces. Just then, Luke walks in, and Emily is overjoyed to see him, relieved that he hadn't left without saying goodbye. Luke then shares that he secured the art studio in Seattle, which means he'll be moving there. Emily is overjoyed to hear that Luke is giving his art another chance. He reveals that he's also put a hold on an office space in the same building and encourages her to start her career there. While Seattle may not be LA, it's big enough for both of them, and Luke wants the chance to get to know her and figure things out together. Plus, she'll always have the time to return for the carnival every Christmas. Just then, Aurora arrives and compliments the carnival's success. Emily, feeling confident, suggests instead of hiring her for the head of content role, Aurora should hire her new marketing agency. Aurora agrees on the spot, and Emily is thrilled. In a moment of joy, she shares a deep romantic kiss with Luke under the lights, ready to embrace their new beginnings.